Okay, I'm back. I've uploaded hopefully two of them by now because they're one is complete. The part one was still uploading, so hopefully it'll be in there soon. I deleted one of them to make space to do this one, so hopefully we can bring this to a conclusion. But as I was saying, New York and LA had less murders than Chicago. You're talking about well over 10 million, let's say 13 million people compared to less than 3 million people. Um, what happened in New York that didn't happen in Chicago? You had an aggressive um, law enforcement strategy to get the people who were responsible for the murders off of the street. You had an aggressive prosecution strategy whereby they were going for the maximum amount of time for people who were committing violent offenses. Once they got these people off of the street, the people who murder people, you don't have the murders. It's almost so ridiculously commonsensical that you're amazed that people don't understand that. But yet we have individuals today who are using their platforms, their forums, the former San Francisco quarterback, who I want to say is just spewing conscientious stupidity, because it would be amazing to think that the intentions are nefarious. And I mean, I want to think the best for all of these people. You just don't know. You've never been in a position where you experienced, where you actually conducted a lifelong case study like myself and many of the people that I know who actually could, if we had the folks behind us, end this. We could end this. We could start that process of ending it. It's not something that would be accomplished in a day, a year, maybe not even a decades of time, but we could start to reverse that process and then put stopgap measures in there to assure that we don't create a new generation of criminals, because that's the pervasiveness of this issue. You keep creating new criminals. You have a home to prison pipeline that's consistently pushing out into society folks who don't care about people's lives, who don't care about people's property, who don't even have self-respect. You continue to create people who are numb to having empathy, who are numb to actually experiencing guilt, who don't actually sit to consider what their actions are, or what the consequences of their actions are before they commit certain acts. You don't have that. You don't, we're, we're not pushing that. That's something that doesn't exist. Whenever somebody commits something that's very heinous, the easy thing to do is to assign it to mental illness. Oh, it's a heinous murder. Or he chopped his mom up. He must have been mentally ill. Or to lack of opportunities, or the struggle that we have in our communities with financing, or educational gaps, which are very important because that will determine your success in the future. Educational gaps. But what